The climate is changing. Temperatures are rising, sea levels are rising, extreme weather is more frequent. The planet is in distress. This is climate change, and it's real. It's caused by human activities, like burning fossil fuels. These activities release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat and warm the planet. The consequences are dire. More heat waves, droughts, floods, and storms. These events displace communities, disrupt agriculture, and harm ecosystems. Action is urgently needed to address this global crisis. Climate action means taking steps to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. It also means adapting to the impacts that are already happening. This requires a global effort from governments, businesses, and individuals. Many countries are implementing ambitious projects to combat climate change within their borders. These projects vary in scope and approach but share a common goal: to reduce carbon emissions and build resilience to climate impacts. One example is the United Kingdom's commitment to reach net zero emissions by 2050. This involves transitioning to renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency, and investing in carbon capture technology. Another example is Germany's Energiewende policy, which aims to transform the country's energy system to be sustainable and largely powered by renewables. This includes phasing out nuclear power and promoting energy efficiency measures. These national projects are crucial for demonstrating leadership and driving technological innovation. They provide a blueprint for other countries to follow and contribute to the global effort to address climate change. Addressing climate change requires global cooperation and coordination. International agreements and summits provide a platform for countries to come together, set common goals, and track progress. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015, is a landmark agreement within the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It aims to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. Annual United Nations climate change conferences bring together world leaders, negotiators, and stakeholders to discuss and advance climate action. These summits provide a forum for reviewing commitments, sharing best practices, and negotiating new agreements. International cooperation is essential for sharing knowledge, technology, and financial resources. It fosters a sense of shared responsibility and encourages collective action to tackle this global challenge. Amidst the challenges, there are inspiring success stories of climate action demonstrating that progress is possible. These examples offer valuable lessons and motivation for further action. One such example is Costa Rica, a country that runs almost entirely on renewable energy. Through investments in hydropower, geothermal energy, and wind power, Costa Rica has significantly reduced its reliance on fossil fuels. Another success story is the decline in deforestation rates in the Brazilian Amazon. Through stricter law enforcement, satellite monitoring, and sustainable land management practices, deforestation has been significantly curbed, protecting this vital carbon sink. These examples highlight the effectiveness of well-designed policies, technological innovation, and community engagement in driving positive change. They provide tangible proof that we can mitigate climate change and create a more sustainable future. Section 5. Measuring the change statistics on climate impact and mitigation. Statistics paint a clear picture of the impact of climate change and the progress being made in mitigation efforts. Understanding these numbers is crucial for informing policy decisions and tracking progress. Global average temperature has increased by about 1 degree Celsius since the late 19th century. This warming is primarily driven by human-caused emissions of greenhouse gases. The concentration of carbon dioxide, or CO2, in the atmosphere has reached levels not seen in at least 800,000 years. This increase is directly linked to the burning of fossil fuels. Renewable energy sources are experiencing exponential growth. Solar and wind power are becoming increasingly cost-competitive with fossil fuels, driving a global energy transition. These statistics underscore the urgency of the climate crisis but also offer hope. They show that our actions are having a measurable impact and that accelerated efforts can further mitigate climate change. Section 6. Voices of Authority. Expert opinions on the significance of climate projects. Experts from various fields emphasize the importance of climate action projects and the need for continued investment and innovation. Their insights provide valuable perspectives on the scale of the challenge and the path forward. Climate scientists stress the urgency of action, warning that the window of opportunity to limit warming to manageable levels is rapidly closing. They emphasize the need for immediate and drastic reductions in emissions. Economists highlight the economic risks associated with inaction, including damage from extreme weather events, disruptions to supply chains, and lost productivity. They advocate for a transition to a low-carbon economy. Public health experts emphasize the health impacts of climate change, including heat-related illnesses, respiratory problems from air pollution, and the spread of infectious diseases. They call for climate solutions that protect human health. These expert voices underscore the interconnectedness of climate change with various aspects of our lives. Their insights emphasize that addressing climate change is not just an environmental issue, but also an economic, social, and moral imperative. Section 7. Striving for better practical improvements for existing climate initiatives. While commendable, existing climate action projects can be further enhanced to maximize their impact and effectiveness. Practical improvements can be made in several key areas. Strengthening policy frameworks is crucial for providing clear signals to investors and businesses, incentivizing innovation and driving the adoption of clean technologies. Policies should prioritize renewable energy, energy efficiency, and sustainable transportation. Increasing financial support for climate action is essential, particularly for developing countries. This includes scaling up public funding for climate projects and mobilizing private sector investment. Enhancing international cooperation is vital for sharing knowledge, technology, and resources. Collaborative efforts can accelerate the development and deployment of climate solutions. By implementing these practical improvements, we can enhance the effectiveness of existing climate initiatives, unlock new opportunities, and accelerate progress towards a more sustainable future. Section 8. Green Tech Innovations Driving Sustainable Solutions. Technological innovation is a key driver of progress in combating climate change. Green technologies offer promising solutions for reducing emissions, adapting to climate impacts, and building a more sustainable future. Renewable energy technologies such as solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal power provide clean alternatives to fossil fuels. Advancements in these technologies are making them increasingly cost-competitive and efficient. Energy storage solutions such as batteries and pumped hydro are crucial for integrating renewable energy into the grid and ensuring a reliable electricity supply. Innovations in battery technology are improving storage capacity and reducing costs. Carbon capture and storage, or CCS, technologies capture carbon dioxide emissions from power plants and industrial processes and store them underground, preventing them from entering the atmosphere. CCS has the potential to significantly reduce emissions from hard-to-abate sectors. These green technologies, along with continued research and development, hold immense potential to mitigate climate change, create economic opportunities, and build a more sustainable and resilient future. Section 9. A Race We Must Win. The Importance of Continued and Enhanced Climate Action. Climate change is one of the most pressing challenges facing humanity. It is a global crisis that requires urgent and collective action. Continued and enhanced climate action is not just an option, but a necessity. The consequences of inaction are dire, including more frequent and severe heat waves, droughts, floods, and sea level rise. These impacts will displace communities, disrupt food systems, and damage ecosystems. Addressing climate change requires a fundamental shift in our energy systems, transportation networks, and consumption patterns. It demands a move away from fossil fuels towards clean, renewable energy sources. The transition to a low-carbon economy will require significant investment, innovation, and international cooperation. It will also require individual action and changes to our lifestyles. The future of our planet depends on our collective action today. By embracing sustainable practices, supporting green technologies, and advocating for bold climate policies, we can create a healthier, more equitable and sustainable world for ourselves and future generations.